Welcome to Profit Channels. This is my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor and I don't give financial advice. Please think of this video as entertainment. Today I am talking about Nomad Foods Limited. It's about $15 right now and has a 4.4% dividend yield. They operate in frozen foods for human consumption. There are quite a bit of closely held shares. The PE ratio 10.45, it's nice and low. You can see on a quarterly basis, we've got steady net income and revenue. Also on the annual basis, they operate primarily in United Kingdom, rest of Europe, Italy, Germany, why Germany's not rest of Europe, I don't know, France. So in the European bloc. Here is cash and free cash flow. And if we look at this annually, it's steady Eddie. Short-term liabilities and assets are a little higher than I like. Long-term, it looks nice. That's fair. If I look at the financials on an annual basis, you can see our revenue has just been continuing to go up year over year. So 2024 was the best year. If we look at gross profit, that was the most gross profit in an upward trend. If we let's go down to net income here. And, 245 million, that's up from 23, down from 22, up from 21, down from 20, up from 19, so it was fair. And here's what I like to see, average basic shares outstanding. So we were at 192 million in 2019, and we've gone, or 194 even more in 2020. And then we've gone over the years, we have brought it down to 161.5 million. So they're buying back shares. So that's nice to see. The forecast, we've got 6 analysts, and they're all nice and bullish. This says 6 strong buys and 1 buy. All right, so this is the weekly chart, and with our moving averages, we have broken below all. So we were riding high up here, crashed down to the 200, kept going, broke down. The 50 and the 100 have crossed over the 200. They've now gathered up. If we were to make a move up from somewhere down here, these trend lines would just all come together, and then the 50 and the 100 will cross the 2. But right now, this is a pretty bullish candle. If we go to the day, we have a terrible day today. So we got these gaps that potentially could get filled, or just be there to make you think they're going to get filled. Our distance here from the bottom of the 200 period right now is the most it's been in quite some time. Yeah, you got to go back to October, November here, 2023. Back to the weekly. Get rid of these moving averages. So we've got this overall channel It's got pretty decent midpoint line. And we're down at the bottom of this channel. If I were to go to the daily, I would say we've got a channel like this. And the midpoint line seems to be fairly valid. So we broke below it here and just danced on it, trying to get above. Pretty good through here. So we've been in this kind of range. Let's go back to the weekly. So we're at the bottom of these two channels, but again, back to the daily. It's such a negative candle. This is not quite yet the time. If I put these lines in here, this is an expanding wedge, and so it could go either direction. So we'll see if we're bouncing off this bottom and making our way up before we come down and break lower. But I think maybe we can go up and break out this to the top. But right now, this is a scary place to do anything. If I do a fib retracement from the bottom here to the top up here, you can see we're right at the 786, the 618. Let's put this on a daily. This looks better on a daily. So we're back to the 786, but the 618 right here is all right. We got a touch there and a touch there. 0.5 looks pretty good here. And 382, again, a lot of action. And then the 236, yeah, it's okay. We've got some stuff here. So could we come down into these gaps or closer to the full retracement? Yeah, it's very possible. If I do the extension from this bottom to this top to the bottom here, we can see that these are some pretty good lines also. Look at that 0.5. 618 is okay. It could look better further out. So these are places we can hope to get up to. If I look at, this is a monthly, and this is Nomad divided by S&P 500. This is as ugly as it gets. You can see we've got point of control here. We're below. This point of control, we're below. This point of control, we've got a few hot points in here, and then finally this point of control. So we're below all these points of control, and we have never been ratio-wise this bad to the S&P 500. Even though this thing makes money, it kicks off dividends on the parabolic SAR super trend. On the weekly, everything's bearish. This is looking bearish, just real bearish. On the daily, you can see that the RSI average is starting to trend up, even though the RSI itself is crossed over and headed down. Our MACD has crossed over, but looking like it's trying to go up, but not quite. This down day really kind of hurt these charts that were looking positive. So we'll see what happens tomorrow to finish out the week. Again, our weekly candle is pretty lousy. Here we go with the RSI Bollinger Band strategy, and we're pretty far underneath our moving average. Money flow is starting to come up. Squeeze momentum's negative, and ADX is a little bit of a trend, but overall we're just moving in this range. On the daily, we've got a buy signal, which is really rare, and we are outside of the Bollinger Band and now back out. So I just broke back out through it again. Money flow is pretty neutral. It's up from oversold. Our squeeze momentum is getting ready to go from neutral to positive, and our ADX is it's a 28. It's heading up. Like we're trying to form a trend, but we don't have one. So I think this is a watch closely and look for things to turn around. I hope you like this video. Give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Talk to you later.